Most men over 60 have no idea that the way they're drinking water might be the reason their erections are getting weaker. That's right. Water, the most basic thing you put in your body every day, could be what's holding you back. And if you're struggling with softness, low drive, or performance that isn't what it used to be, this might be the shocking science you need to hear. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how water affects blood flow, hormone function, and yes, your ability to fix your erections naturally and without pills. You'll discover the biggest hydration mistakes men over 60 make, why just drinking more isn't the answer, and how a simple change in your daily water routine could bring your confidence back. Let me introduce myself. I'm Dr. Thomas, a board-certified urologist and men's health expert with over 30 years of experience. I've helped thousands of men over 60 restore their vitality and improve their performance without relying on medication. And today I'm going to show you how something as ordinary as water might be the most powerful tool you have been ignoring. This isn't hype, it's biology. And once you understand how hydration works inside your body, you'll realize that a few small changes can make a big difference in how you feel, think, and perform. Before we dive into the details, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a life-changing tip just like this, especially if you care about aging well and staying strong. All right, now let's begin. 1. Blood flow is everything. Let's start with something every man over 60 needs to understand. Erections aren't just about arousal or attraction, they're a matter of circulation. No blood flow, no performance. It's that simple. You see, an erection is a hydraulic process. Blood fills the chambers of the penis, pressure builds, and firmness happens. That process depends almost entirely on your cardiovascular health, and what most men overlook is that blood itself is mostly water. Over 90% to be exact, which means that how hydrated you are directly affects how easily blood can move through your vessels, including to the areas you care about most. But here's the problem, and it's more common than you think. Many men over 60 are walking around in a state of mild dehydration without even realizing it. Not bone-dry desert dehydration, just a quiet, everyday shortage that makes your blood thicker, your heart work harder, and your circulation less efficient. It's subtle, it's silent, and it's powerful. I remember a man I worked with named Austin, a retired machinist, 66 years old, practical and no nonsense. He came into my office one afternoon and, after a bit of hesitation, admitted that things weren't working like they used to. He assumed it was age, something he just had to accept. But when I asked him about his hydration, he blinked and said, "Water? Doc, I guess I drink some when I take my pills." That was it. Coffee in the morning, maybe a soda with lunch, a beer at night. Barely any water. So I asked him to do something simple. No pills, no prescriptions, just start drinking small amounts of water regularly throughout the day. Room temperature, nothing fancy, just steady hydration. He agreed, mostly out of curiosity. 2 weeks later, Austin came back with a grin. "Doc," he said, "I'm not saying I'm 25 again, but something's definitely working." His energy was up, he was sleeping better, and yes, his erections were stronger. And the only thing we changed was how he drank water. Now, I'm not promising miracles. Hydration won't replace decades of lifestyle choices or undo chronic conditions. But I've seen enough men turn things around just by giving their body the one thing it needs most: fluid. Because when you're dehydrated, everything slows down. Your blood flow, your oxygen delivery, your hormonal signaling. And the older you get, the more sensitive your system becomes to these small shifts. That's why I say this to every man over 60 who walks into my office. If you're experiencing issues in the bedroom, don't just look at testosterone or mood or medication. Look at your circulation. Look at your water. Because sometimes the fix isn't complicated. Sometimes it's already in your kitchen. If what I've shared speaks to you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Got a question or a personal story about blood flow or hydration? Leave it in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. 2. Dehydration silently kills testosterone. If blood flow is the engine of male performance, testosterone is the fuel. And what most men over 60 don't realize is that their fuel tank is drying up quietly every single day because they're not drinking enough water. Testosterone isn't just a sex hormone. It's tied to your energy, your motivation, your ability to focus, even how you respond to stress. And when your body is dehydrated, especially over long periods of time, it shifts into what I call preservation mode. Your system starts rerouting resources to protect essential life functions, like maintaining blood pressure and body temperature, while pushing less urgent functions like reproduction and libido to the bottom of the list. This is why so many men over 60 tell me, "Doc, I'm not depressed, but I'm just not myself anymore." They're not lazy or weak. Their bodies are responding to a perceived survival threat, and testosterone is one of the first things to go. Let me give you an example. I once treated a man named Marcus, 72 years old, recently widowed, still active but increasingly withdrawn. He wasn't complaining of erectile dysfunction directly, but he described low energy, poor sleep, irritability, and a complete lack of desire, not just sexually, but in life. His words stuck with me. "I feel like I'm fading." We ran a full hormone panel. His testosterone was low, not critically, but well below average for his age. No medications, no illness, no underlying disease. But when we looked closer, his hydration was a mess. Barely 16 ounces of water a day, and most of that was in the form of sweet tea or diet soda. Here's what the science tells us. When you're dehydrated, your cortisol, the stress hormone, goes up. And cortisol directly suppresses testosterone production. It's a biochemical tug of war. The more cortisol floods your system, the more testosterone gets shoved aside. This isn't just theory. A 2011 study published in Hormones and Behavior found that even mild dehydration during physical stress significantly raised cortisol and decreased testosterone levels in healthy males. Marcus didn't need hormone therapy. He needed water. And not just a big gulp in the morning, but steady, intentional hydration throughout the day. Room temperature, no caffeine, no alcohol. We also adjusted his sleep routine and encouraged morning light exposure, two other factors that help restore hormonal balance. Within a month, his words had changed. "I feel sharper, more me." His posture had improved, his mood was lighter, and while he never explicitly said, "It's working down there," he didn't need to. The shift in his presence said everything. So what's the takeaway here? If you're experiencing low motivation, mental fog, or loss of desire, don't assume it's just old age creeping in. Ask yourself a better question. Are you supporting your hormone system with the basics, starting with water? Your body's endocrine system is incredibly responsive. It doesn't need massive changes to produce meaningful results. It just needs consistency, and hydration is one of the lowest hanging fruits. If this resonates with you, or you've had similar experiences navigating low testosterone as a man over 60, don't keep it to yourself. Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to know what's worked for you. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the time. There's more coming, and you don't want to miss it. 3. How most men drink water wrong. Now that we've talked about what dehydration can do to your blood flow and hormones, let's talk about something equally important: how you drink water. Because believe it or not, most men over 60 are doing it completely wrong. Let's get something straight. Your body doesn't want floods, it wants flow. Yet the common pattern I see, especially in older men, is this: they wait until they're already thirsty, then gulp down an entire glass or bottle in one shot, often cold from the fridge, usually standing up or on the move. Sounds familiar? Let me introduce you to George, 69, a retired electrician who loved routines. Same breakfast every day, same TV shows, same habits, including his hydration. He told me, "Doc, I drink water every day, religiously." I asked how. He smiled proudly. "I down 2 full bottles when I get home from my morning walk." And that was it. Nothing else for the rest of the day. No water before, during, or after meals. None before bed. Just 2 massive gulps after exercise. And he wondered why his digestion was off, his sleep was restless, and his bedroom performance had been lagging. The truth is, the human body can only absorb a limited amount of water at a time. When you overload it, you're not hydrating, you're just flushing. You can actually stress your kidneys, dilute important minerals like magnesium and sodium, and miss the steady internal balance your cells crave. On top of that, drinking cold water, especially in large quantities, can constrict blood vessels. That might not matter much when you're but for men over 60 whose circulation is already compromised, it's a problem. Cold shocks the digestive system, interrupts enzymatic activity, and slows nutrient absorption, all of which indirectly affects your energy, your clarity, and yes, your ability to perform sexually. There's also a neurological factor. When you sit down and drink slowly, you activate your parasympathetic nervous system, what we call the rest and digest state. This helps your body process fluids more efficiently and supports calm, regulated blood flow. It may sound trivial, but something as small as sitting down while sipping water can make a measurable difference. And don't overlook your saliva. When you let water mix in your mouth before swallowing, it starts digestion earlier and signals your body to prepare for absorption. This isn't just folklore, it's backed by integrative studies and ancient Ayurvedic teachings, now validated by modern science. George changed his approach. He started sipping water every couple of hours, room temperature, while seated, and never waited until he was parched. Within weeks, he noticed fewer headaches, smoother digestion, and more stable energy across the day. "Doc," he told me, "I always thought water was just water. I didn't know it could actually work for me." Men over 60 don't need to drink more. They need to drink smarter. Hydration isn't just a quantity game. It's a rhythm, a relationship with your body. Once you find that rhythm, things begin to shift, not just physically, but mentally too. If you're learning something new today, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It helps us bring this kind of information to more men who truly need it. And if this section made you rethink your own habits, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear how you hydrate and what's worked or hasn't for you. 4. Hidden habits that undo hydration benefits. You've committed to drinking more water. You're sipping throughout the day, avoiding the big gulps, even sitting down like we talked about. But something still feels off. Your energy hasn't bounced back, your mind's still foggy, and your performance, well, let's just say it's inconsistent. It's frustrating, right? You're doing the right thing, yet not getting the right result. Here's why. There are a handful of hidden habits that quietly sabotage your hydration efforts. And I see this all the time in men over 60. They've started taking care of their water intake, but unintentionally cancel it out without realizing it. Let me tell you about Calvin, 74, a retired air traffic controller with a sharp mind and a serious approach to health. He was following every hydration rule to the letter. Sipping all day, no more cold water, steady timing. Still, he came back to me and said, "Doc, I feel a little better, but not where I hoped I'd be." So we looked closer. Every morning, Calvin had a large mug of black coffee, followed by another cup in the afternoon. At dinner, he enjoyed a glass of red wine. And after lunch, he liked to top things off with a slice of watermelon, followed by a tall glass of water. Each of those habits seems harmless on its own, but together they tell a different story. Let's break it down. Caffeine and alcohol are both diuretics. That means they cause your body to lose water through increased urination. So while you might be sipping water during the day, your morning coffee and evening wine could be working against you, slowly dehydrating you from the inside out. Then there's the timing with water-rich fruits. Watermelon, oranges, grapes, these are excellent for hydration. But when you drink water immediately after eating them, you dilute the digestive enzymes in your stomach. That can lead to bloating, slower digestion, and less efficient absorption of the water you just drank. And here's one more curveball: overhydration. Yes, drinking too much water in a short period of time can flush out essential minerals like magnesium, potassium, and sodium. These minerals aren't just for muscle and nerve function, they're also vital for sexual response, circulation, and hormone balance. I've seen men go overboard trying to fix their health with water, only to end up more fatigued and lightheaded because they accidentally washed out what their body needed to keep. Calvin made a few subtle adjustments. He reduced his caffeine to just 1 cup in the morning, saved his wine for special occasions, and gave his body time between eating juicy fruits and drinking water. Within a week, he noticed a difference. "Doc," he told me, It's like my body's finally listening. So here's the lesson. Water is powerful, but it doesn't work in isolation. Your lifestyle either supports or undermines its benefits. And especially for men over 60, where every small decision adds up, these habits matter more than ever. Are you making any of these hidden mistakes? Let's find out together. Share what your daily routine looks like in the comments. I'd love to take a look and offer some tips if I can. And if you haven't joined this community yet, hit that subscribe button. We're building something important here, one healthy habit at a time. 5. The science, what proper hydration really does. One of the most fulfilling parts of practicing medicine is when science finally catches up to common sense. We've talked about hydration as a daily habit, but what does the research actually say about what proper hydration does for your sexual health, your hormones, and your performance as a man? Plenty, it turns out. Let's start with blood. As I mentioned earlier, your blood is more than 90% water. When you're properly hydrated, your blood maintains a healthy volume and viscosity. It flows easily, delivers oxygen effectively, and transports nutrients where they need to go. But when you're even slightly dehydrated, your blood thickens, your vessels constrict, and circulation becomes less efficient. For men over 60, this is a critical issue. Your body's vascular system has already been under pressure for decades. If you don't support it with hydration, you're not just losing physical performance. You're raising your risk for more serious issues like hypertension, insulin resistance, and fatigue. Let me introduce Raymond, age 70, a retired architect, thoughtful, observant, but quietly discouraged. He had been brushing off his declining energy and intimacy as just getting older. His wife gently nudged him into my office after she noticed how distant he'd become. After some discussion, we reviewed his lifestyle. He was eating reasonably well, taking short walks, and sleeping okay, but he barely drank any water. "I guess I just forget," he told me. I asked him to commit to a 30-day hydration plan. No medications, no testosterone therapy, just structured, consistent water intake, sipping regularly, room temperature, mindful of his daily rhythm. Within 4 weeks, Raymond felt different, not just in the bedroom, but in his mind. He described his thoughts as clearer, his energy as more consistent. Even his blood pressure improved slightly. What happened inside his body wasn't magic. It was biology, finally supported. Studies back this up. A 2019 publication in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that mild dehydration impaired mood, lowered cognitive performance, and affected stress response in older adults. Another study in andrology observed that hydration levels correlated with serum testosterone concentrations, suggesting that something as simple as fluid balance could directly impact hormonal health. Let's also talk about detoxification. Your liver and kidneys rely on water to flush out waste products, process hormones, and support your metabolism. When you're dehydrated, toxins linger longer, hormone breakdown slows, and you feel it, not just in your digestion or skin, but in your overall vitality. And then there's nitric oxide, a key molecule that controls the dilation of blood vessels. Without enough hydration, your body struggles to produce it efficiently. And without nitric oxide, good luck getting or maintaining an erection. The connection is that real. So when I tell men over 60 that water can help them think better, feel better, and perform better, I'm not exaggerating. I'm giving them a foundation, one that their body has been waiting for. Raymond said it best on his final visit. "Doc, I thought I was just aging. Turns out I was just ignoring the basics." Sometimes that's all it takes. If this section helped you connect the dots, do me a favor, give this video a like so more men can find it. And if you've experienced positive changes just from improving your hydration, let us know in the comments. Your story might be the encouragement someone else needs to take the first step. 6. Why hydration becomes crucial. After 60, there's something no one tells you about aging. Not your primary care doctor, not your well-meaning friends, and certainly not the commercials pushing quick fixes. And it's this: your body stops forgiving you. The small habits you used to get away with in your 30s and 40s, skipping water, eating poorly, staying up too late, suddenly have consequences. Not overnight, but gradually. One morning you look in the mirror and something feels off. Your energy isn't there, your sharpness is dulled. Your drive, physically and mentally, is a shadow of what it used to be. That shift is real. And for men over 60, it's often the first clue that the body is starting to push back. I want to share the story of Harvey, 67, a retired biology teacher with a soft voice and a thoughtful presence. He came to see me not because he was sick, but because, in his words, I feel like I'm not fully here. He wasn't depressed, he wasn't in pain, but his spark, his sense of vitality, had dimmed. We talked through everything. His nutrition wasn't perfect, but not terrible. He walked a few times a week. His sleep wasn't great, but manageable. And then we got to hydration. Like many men his age, Harvey had no structured water intake. He drank when he remembered, usually with meals, sometimes with coffee. No real rhythm, no real intention, just a passive relationship with water. But here's what changes after 60. Your body loses its ability to conserve water efficiently. Your thirst signals weaken. Your kidneys become less effective at filtering waste. Your blood vessels become stiffer. And because of all this, your organs, especially your brain, heart, and sexual system, become far more sensitive to even mild dehydration. So when you don't drink enough, your body suffers faster and more noticeably than it did 20 years ago. I asked Harvey to treat hydration like a responsibility, not a reaction. Instead of waiting until he felt thirsty, I encouraged him to sip water regularly throughout the day, especially in the morning when the body is naturally dehydrated from sleep. We added reminders, tied his hydration to routines he already had, brushing his teeth, reading the paper, walking the dog. Within 2 weeks, he emailed me. The subject line just said, "It's working." And in the message, he wrote, "It's subtle, but I feel like I've returned to myself." You see, the goal isn't just to have more water in your system. It's to create an internal environment where your body feels safe and supported so it can optimize blood flow, hormone levels, brain chemistry, and metabolism. That foundation becomes even more essential as we age, when the margin for error shrinks and the consequences of neglect grow. Men over 60 often tell me they feel disconnected or numb or just not like themselves. And 9 times out of 10, the first thing I look at isn't their testosterone or medication list, it's their hydration. Because more often than not, that's where the breakdown begins. If anything in this section resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Maybe you're not the only one in your circle who's been feeling off. Hit subscribe if you haven't already, and take a moment to share this video with a friend. A small reminder could change someone's day or their entire health journey. 7. Bonus, a simple 7-second morning trick. There's something powerful about the early morning hours. It's when your body resets, your hormones recalibrate, and your brain starts preparing for the day ahead. And in that short window, those first 5 to 10 minutes after waking, you have a golden opportunity to influence everything from your mood to your performance. For men over 60, this window becomes even more important. As you age, your body doesn't bounce back as quickly. Your blood vessels need more coaxing, your hormone systems need more signaling, and your nervous system needs more regulation. Which is why the way you start your morning can either lift your biology or dull it. That brings us to what I call the 7-second morning switch. It's a simple breathing technique designed to naturally increase your body's nitric oxide production. You might have heard of nitric oxide before. It's the molecule responsible for relaxing your blood vessels and improving blood flow. In fact, medications like Viagra work by enhancing nitric oxide pathways, but your body can produce it naturally without pharmaceuticals. All it takes is a bit of intention. Here's how it works. As soon as you wake up, before reaching for your phone, before coffee, sit upright. Inhale deeply through your nose for 4 seconds, hold for 1, and then exhale slowly through your nose for 2 seconds. Total time? 7 seconds. Repeat that 5 times. That's it. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system, encourages nitric oxide release from the endothelial lining of your blood vessels, and helps prime your system for better circulation, especially in areas tied to performance and arousal. Let me tell you about Gregory, 71, a former sales executive. He'd been following a good hydration routine for about a month, eating clean, sleeping better, walking every day, but something was still missing. I feel okay, he told me, but not energized, like I'm still waiting for the spark. I suggested this 7-second trick, not as a cure, but as a compliment. He was skeptical, of course. Doc, breathing's not gonna fix my sex life, he joked. But to his credit, he gave it a shot. 2 weeks later, he returned with a different tone. It's subtle, but I feel charged when I wake up. Focused, like my body's already ahead of me. And yes, he noticed a significant difference in arousal and responsiveness, without any medication. Just water and breath. The science is on his side. A study published in Frontiers in Physiology 2020 confirmed that nasal breathing and slow-paced exhalation can increase nitric oxide levels in the bloodstream, especially in older populations where natural production declines. So why not take advantage of that? When you pair smart hydration with this intentional morning breathwork, you're giving your body two of the most powerful drug-free tools to reclaim your performance. One affects your blood, the other affects your nerves and vessels. Together, they create conditions where your body can function like it's meant to. Men over 60 don't need more prescriptions, they need more presence. And often, just a few seconds of it at the right time makes all the difference. If you're going to try this tomorrow morning, let me know in the comments with the word ready. And if you found this tip useful, go ahead and subscribe, because there's more where this came from, and I'd love for you to be part of this journey with us. 8. Daily hydration plan for men over 60. By now you understand the science, the stories, and the subtle ways hydration shapes your energy, hormones, and performance. But if you're like most men over 60, there's one thing you still want: a clear, simple plan, something you can follow without thinking too much. Just tell me what to do, Doc. You got it. Let me share with you the exact hydration routine I've used with dozens of my patients, men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, who wanted a natural way to feel better, think clearer, and perform stronger. We'll walk through it step by step. Nothing fancy, just rhythm and consistency. Morning within 30 minutes of waking. Start with a full glass of room temperature water, around 12 to 16 ounces. Your body wakes up dehydrated. This primes your circulation and gets your metabolism moving. If you're doing the 7-second breathing trick, do it first, then follow with water. Mid-morning, around 10-11 a.m. Another 8 to 12 ounces, this time with a small pinch of sea salt or a mineral electrolyte. Why? As you age, your body doesn't retain minerals as efficiently. A touch of sodium helps with water absorption and supports nerve function. Lunchtime, sip 6 to 8 ounces slowly while seated. Avoid drinking large amounts during the meal, just enough to support digestion. If you eat fruit, space out your water at least 30 minutes after. Afternoon, around 3 to 4 p.m. Drink another 10-12 ounces. This helps combat the natural energy dip most men feel in the afternoon. Don't chase it with coffee or soda. Keep it clean and consistent. Evening, around dinner. 8 ounces no later than 1 hour before bed. You want to stay hydrated through the night, but you don't want to disrupt your sleep running to the bathroom. If you've had wine or a salty meal, this becomes even more important. That's it. 5 hydration touch points. Spread throughout your day. No gallons, no gimmicks, no chugging. Now let me give you a real-world example. Dennis, 66, was a former firefighter who spent most of his life running into burning buildings, not worrying about water. When he retired, the fatigue hit. He felt sluggish, slow, like the fire went out. We built this simple hydration routine into his day. No radical changes, just structure. A month later, his energy was back, his thinking was sharper, and in his words, it's like someone turned the lights back on. Even his intimacy with his partner improved. No pills, no patches, just water, done right. The lesson? Your body isn't asking for magic, it's asking for care. And when you meet it with the basics, like proper hydration, it rewards you in powerful, lasting ways. So if you've ever wondered where to start, let it be here. One glass, one moment of attention, and then another. Stack those moments and you'll build momentum, not just in your health, but in your life. If this routine feels doable, type start in the comments. And if you're already doing some version of it, I'd love to hear your tips or tweaks. Share them below. Oh, and don't forget to hit subscribe. We're not done yet, not by a long shot. Final reflections. Stay hydrated, stay strong. If there's one thing I've learned after 3 decades of working with men, it's this: your body never truly gives up on you. It waits, it whispers, and when you finally give it what it needs, it responds. We often look for answers in pills, procedures, or promises that feel out of reach. But sometimes the most powerful change begins with the simplest habit: a glass of water, a breath in the morning, a little consistency, and the courage to believe that your best days aren't behind you, they're still within reach. Men over 60 don't need to feel invisible. You deserve clarity, energy, connection. You deserve to feel strong in your body and confident in your presence. And that begins not with perfection, but with intention. So today, I hope you walk away with more than just tips and routines. I hope you feel a sense of ownership, a quiet motivation to take your health into your own hands, one sip, one step at a time. If this video touched something real in you, please give it a like. Share it with a friend who might need to hear these words. And don't forget to subscribe, then tap the notification bell so you never miss another message made just for you. Thank you for spending this time with me. Take care of yourself, stay hydrated, and as always, stay strong.